So I lied. I decided I'd make another video. I decided last night I would do a better job of screening for potential stocks to trade the wheel or covered calls, cash secured puts on. Screening is absolutely key in this game. If you're selling covered calls, you want to find stocks with high premium, of course, but that's only half the equation. The other equation is risk. I want low risk. Since you're actually holding these shares, you can't afford to have a stock crash on you. You might have to sell options for 2 years to make up for the losses sustained if the stock crashes. So I want high premium but low risk. I have a screener, but you can't put 10,000 potential stocks on that screener, literally. It's just too much data. You need the final screener to kind of be working with a short list. So how do I get the short list? First of all, I like to trade weekly options. And it's not just because I like to trade weekly options. If you have weekly options, it's usually a sign that there's good liquidity in the options, plenty of volume, and you don't have the 5-cent pricing, that kind of thing. It's things that are kind of irritating. So if it's weekly options, it's usually pretty good to trade, even if you're trading on monthlies. So if you search for weekly options list, you get a page at the CBOE. So here's a page of the CBOE. You can download a CSV file. I created another tab in my option screener. By the way, you can download a free copy of this option screener. Look for the description and for the link. So I cut and pasted the CBO data into the screener. It turns out there are over 600 stocks with weekly options. I added columns for the stock price, which I pulled out of using the Google Finance function. And then as I evaluate the stocks and put them on a short list, I'll fill in the other columns. I'm only trading a $25,000 test account, so I can't be running the wheel on a $300 stock. I'm targeting shares between $15 and $50 share price. So this filter reduces the potential list from 606 down to 174. Then I have to manually look up each stock. Yeah, it's painstaking, but better for 174 than for 600 or more. So we'll start with one called Renesola, which sounds pretty bubbly. If I take one look at the yearly stock price, that's all I need to see. It's up 3,800% in the last few months. So no, too crazy for me. I'm going to let the Wall Street Bets YOLO crowd play with this one. Here's a more realistic stock. It's a Chinese company called Momo, which is just a cool and funny name, but it actually is a real company. It actually has earnings. So I go on the Robinhood page, I look up the PE ratio, dividend yield, which is nothing, and the market cap, and I put it in my screener. Then I look at the options chain. In this case, I'm looking at the price of a 30 delta call. That's about 13 days to expiration. That's 47 cents. So relative to the $19 or $17 share price, actually, that's about 3%. So that's a pretty nice premium. So I need to keep track of earnings dates because the premiums artificially soar right before the earnings, and I don't want to run the wheel during earnings. So in this case, Momo actually has earnings in 10 days. So this is definitely affecting the premium of that 2-week out option. So after I go through the filtered list of 174 stocks, I put 41 on my short list. Of the short list of 41, I excluded another 19 of those for several reasons. Negative earnings, redundancy with current holdings, or just undesired sectors. So in the end, I added 22 new stocks to my final screener. So here's a few that are near the top of my list for potential trading candidates. WW, which is Weight Watchers. Imagine a lot of people these days are sitting around, working from home, getting fat. It's just sad but true reality. CSTM is Constellium, manufactures rolled aluminum. CWH is Camping World, which was definitely a COVID lockdown stock, but it still has pretty solid financials and good premiums. Dish Networks and Fox seem like pretty stable companies. People aren't watching less TV now or in the future, but both these companies are still paying nice premiums. So anyway, I thought it would be useful to kind of go through my thought process for multiple levels of screening to get a huge list of stocks. You want to look at the huge list, but you only you want to capture short list. In my case, maybe 50 or 60 stocks are on my final screener. My thought process is not the only thought process, and I can guarantee you a month from now I'll have a slightly different thought process. So I definitely would love to hear from you guys in the comments. What's your thought process? My thought process suck. Anyway, let's do it together. Thanks.